Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to HermitPack. So I've been doing a lot of bee breeding and I have run out of space to deal with the drones that don't stack. And to that end, I am empowering some void crystal. Now the void crystal is just coal blocks in front of the atomic reconstructor. Pretty simple stuff. But these empowered void crystals can be used to make the large storage crates. Now I don't know how much these will hold, but it looks like I don't have the medium storage crate. Now these take the void crystals, so do I not have any? Let me look up crates, because maybe those aren't working. No? Well, I know I had a bunch of those early on in the series, but, well, whatever. I guess we'll make a small one, which needs a wooden casing too. Yeah. Okay. So we have enough to make 2 of these. So let's go ahead and make 2 of them. Oh, no, we're not going to have enough of these, are we? Yeah, we had enough void crystals. Good, good. And then the empowered void crystals is going to be the ones that are expensive. But there we go. There's 2 of those. And then I'm going to take and drop all of this stuff back in there. And let's just see how big this thing is. Looks like it's about as big as a diamond chest. I was hoping it would be bigger than that. But I think we'll go put it down over there anyway. I was using some APRS chests and they're full. So I was hoping for something that would give me a little bit more storage. I was thinking about doing some RF tools storage, but I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that. But you can see our chest here that has our non-stackable bees is completely full. And I don't know what it is about these APRS chests. They sit there open. But kind of like the interface there better anyway. The only issue with that is you can't pick these up. But I have made it to the Imperial bees now. And looks like I need to sleep. But the Imperial bees produce the royal jelly. This is one of the 2 items that we need to be able to do the alvearies. The other item that is needed for the alveary is these pollen clusters. And the pollen clusters, see if I can figure this out, come from the Industrious bees. Now this is where I am trying to get to right now. We need to get diligent and unwary. Now these come from the common and cultivated again. The common and cultivated will give the diligent or the noble. And then you take the resulting either noble or diligent, cross it with the cultivated again, and it will give you the next tier. So if we look here, the diligent plus the cultivated will give you the unwary, and then the diligent plus the unwary will give you the industrious. And diligent plus meadows would give you rural, and rural, these are kind of a nice bee for one major reason. The farmerly are even better. They give wheaten combs. And wheaten combs, if I can do the right thing here, produce wheat. So if we could get those bees going, we wouldn't even have to worry about farms. But I'm currently trying to produce a diligent? Yeah, the diligent bee here, and I'm not having a lot of success. So I think I'm going to have to keep working at getting these diligent bees, and then I will be back in a little bit. So I have made it to the Industrious bees. I have all of the others in between. We are now collecting pollen clusters. I've also set up another apiary with the Industrious bees because we need a lot of these pollen clusters. But we have run into a new problem. And that problem involves the centrifuging of combs. we are getting so many combs now from our bees that one centrifuge cannot keep up at all. So if we come and look in here, I put in a chest because I was tired of holding on to the stuff. We have stacks and stacks and stacks backed up waiting to be run through here, and it's been running non-stop the whole time that I've been doing this. So yeah, we're getting tons of stuff, and we need more centrifuges. So I think what I might do is set that up on in the center of the room here. So I think I'm going to make probably about, I don't know, 12 of these things, so that we can have 3 on each side of a central piece here in the center of the room. And then we can have a single input. It'll separate all of the stuff among the centrifuges and then dump it back into either a single output or into our storage system. One or the other, and I'm not sure which. Right now I've been wanting to keep all of this stuff separate, but it's not really necessary. The only reason I was keeping it separate was to see what kind of production we're getting. And it's not all that important, but I'm going to get that set up, and then we're going to look at what we need to do with some of these items and why we got to the particular bees that we did. Well, I'll be perfectly honest, it looks like garbage, but it does work. So if I take and dump in a whole bunch of, whoop, that's not going to work. If I dump in a whole bunch of combs here, it will spread those out among all of the centrifuges, and we don't have to worry about it too much. This automatically pulls all the output over here. So even though it is very ugly, and I'm probably going to be redoing it very soon, it does work for the time being. But next up we have these pollen clusters and royal jelly. And these things have a very unique use, and that is to be turned into scented paneling. Now this scented paneling requires liquid honey in a carpenter, so we're going to have to set up another bay for the liquid honey. So we have this one here for the oil, and so I think we're going to use this one since that was where our centrifuge was. But what we need is a squeezer and a carpenter. The squeezer will put the sorry, I can't think right now. And that was real good. But the squeezer will put the honey drops into liquid form, and then we can put that over into the carpenter and use it the way that it's meant to be. So let's take a look. The squeezer, we are going to have to make more sturdy casings again, because making those 12 centrifuges took all of the sturdy casings that I had. So let's see here. We need this, we need this, that, and the other thing. So that's 8 stacks. That should be good. And then we will go ahead and make our sturdy casing. And I think we'll make 16 of these. And then the squeezer. So there's the squeezer. We need another carpenter as well. So there's the carpenter. And now we'll bring these over and set them up. And I guess before we do that, I do need to grab the liquid conduits as well. So let's take a look at the conduits. We will need, or fluid conduits, I guess. We will need these to connect the two together. And it looks like right now we have item conduits in here. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. And we need a little bit more power conduit as well. So let's grab a little bit more of that. Okay, so this one over here, we have the input on the left and the carpenter on the right. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. So the carpenter on the right, we're going to put our 2 fluid conduits here. We're going to put this to insert. We're going to put the squeezer here. And can we reach that? Yes, we can. So we're going to put that extract and always active. And we're going to need a little bit more of that stone here in a little bit, but that's okay. So now we just need to get the power hooked up here. So we should have everything hooked up, and we just need to grab some honey. So if we grab some honey drops here and drop them in here, we should see very rapidly some liquid honey, and that's headed over into the carpenter. I hope. What is going on there? Whoop. Crap. Okay, where is my Yeta wrench? There we go. And there, now there's honey in there. It's kind of weird that it's taking it so long to transfer. There, now it's finally starting to do something. Okay, so now that we have that liquid honey, now we can start making the scented paneling. So the scented paneling, where did that go here? Should be somewhere around here. There it is. So the scented paneling, we need planks of some kind. Of course, we'll be using the jungle wood for that. We need beeswax, royal jelly, and pollen clusters. So we're going to need tons of this stuff. So let's go ahead and make up a whole bunch of stacks of jungle wood planks. And then we have everything else over here. So let's grab some wax and the royal jelly and pollen clusters. So we need planks across the middle, beeswax in the bottom. Let's go ahead and put that all in there. Royal jelly on top, pollen cluster on the bottom. So there we go. That is everything there. This is going to start making the scented paneling. Now, what we need this scented paneling for is the alveary block. So we need impregnated casing surrounded by 8 scented panelings. You can see why we made the wood or the tree farm over in Botania, why we've been working on all of this stuff. The alvearies are huge beehives. They have the ability to have various blocks changed so that you can have the bees mutate faster, produce more. You can heat, cool, hydrate, dry out. You can do all kinds of things with the alveary to make bees work in any environment and work faster, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, we're going to be making some alvearies to replace the great majority of these small hives, or the apiaries. So I'm going to let this work here and produce as many of these scented panelings as we can. Of course, our pollen clusters are going to be our limiting factor there. So I'm going to let it carry on, and then we'll come back and take a look at making some of these alveary blocks. So guys, this is the next day, and after roughly about 24 hours of time for these farms to run, we have huge amounts of combs. We have quite a bit of royal jelly. I have used up every bit of the pollen clusters that I had. But the other thing is, we have a large amount of the scented paneling, and we're still making more. So this is what I have left for pollen clusters, and yeah, we're coming up on another stack of those. So I had to put a Torturino over here because we needed to speed up the production of all of that stuff. Now, the 12 centrifuges seem to be keeping up fairly well, and having the single output sure is nice. But so we have tons and tons of propolis too, and I honestly don't know what on earth we're going to do with this stuff. What is the uses for this anyway? We can turn it into slime balls. Whoop-de-daw. We can make the bituminous peat, which I made this in Terra Firmacraft, and it works good for beginning power, but not really much of a use now. We do have a forestry species item filter for Ender IO. That might come in really handy so that we can get a little bit more automation in our apiaries, and we can make letters, which we haven't done anything with the forestry mailboxes, but that would be kind of an interesting use for it. Now, the villagers, we can trade a couple of drones and a propolis for a meadows drone. Why would we want to do that? That's kind of dumb. So the recycler may be something that we want to get to here eventually. The carpenter, obviously we can make the crated stuff. Oh, we can run it through the centrifuge and get sticky resin from IC2. That's good. And then what have we got here? The thermionic fabricator. No. I don't think we're going to be doing anything with that because we have much easier recipes than that for stained glass. So, now granted, it does turn one block of glass into 4. But that would take a lot of power. But so really, it seems like our best bet would probably be if we could find somewhere to deal with villager trading or just recycle this stuff into scrap. And now scrap, we can take 9 scrap and turn that into a scrap box, and scrap boxes have a random chance to get all kinds of stuff. So that may be something that we want to look at later on. But right now, I guess we'll probably end up getting a quantum storage to store the propolis. We're probably going to be getting a quantum storage for a lot of this stuff because, yeah, we are getting tons and tons of stuff from these bees. Now, another thing that I'm thinking I'm probably going to want to do, because we have just about a full chest of each of these different types of drones now. And so we may want to shut down everything but the bees that we need, which would be the Industrious and the Imperial. And we can turn all of the rest of these into the Industrial and Imperial. So that may be something that we do. And another thing that we can do to increase our productivity here with the bees is to make some frames. So I'm going to quick drop off this stuff that I just picked up. Yes, I know I can only sleep at night. So let's go ahead and drop these off. And we will apparently be out of storage space there. But we need the seed oil. And apparently right now we have everything going real good there. But we're going to grab a whole bunch of logs, not bones. So a whole bunch of logs, and then we'll just go with that. And we need to put these into the carpenter, and what we want to do is go like that, and this is going to make impregnated sticks. So let's go ahead and drop these in here and pull out our impregnated casings, and this is going to make the impregnated sticks. Now, the uses on these guys is to make an impregnated frame. Now, this makes 2 times the production. Now, it does have a genetic decay, and I don't know for sure what the genetic decay does, but we need string and we need impregnated sticks. Now, I think we have about 50,000 string in our refined storage system, so we're not going to be running out of that stuff anytime soon. So, you need 8 of these impregnated sticks per frame, and it takes 3 frames per apiary. And the worst part about it is these guys don't stack. So I think I am going to want to be setting up some stuff for automating this. Now, one thing that I want to try, I want to see here, if we put frames in here, will it put them in? No. Darn it. Well, I might have to check and see if there is any other way that we can forcibly put frames into these apiaries. But so I'm going to let this run a little longer, get a little bit more pollen clusters. We probably have enough scented paneling right now to make the apiary or the alveary, But I'm going to let this run just a little longer, get a few more of these scented panelings to make sure, and I'm going to research whether or not there is some way to get these frames shoved into these apiaries, and then I will be back. Well, I've tried a few different things to be able to put the frames into the apiaries, and none of them have worked. It doesn't seem like any of the pipes or even the refined storage stuff interacts with the apiary frame slot. So there might be a way to do it, I just don't know how at the moment. If anybody watching knows, go ahead and let me know. I may experiment with a few more things later on, but for now I'm just gonna not worry about it. But so we have a great deal plenty of these scented panels. So we're gonna go ahead and make up the alveoli blocks. Now we need 27 of these per alveoli, so we don't have enough of the impregnated casings to make more than one anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and make enough for one. Now we are going to want a few other things. Now I've done a little research on what all of these do. The swarmer, all that it does is creates a temporary clone of whatever the queen is in the alveoli. Now, to me, that just seems kind of pointless. I'd rather go out into the world, collect some new bees, and not worry about it. So we're not going to be making any swarmers. The fan can be used to cool off the alveoli. So, like for our wintry princesses, we're going to have a fan. The heater will warm up the temperature, which would be like for our modest princesses. Then we have the hygro regulator, which will adjust the humidity level, which is also needed for the modest bees. The stabilizer, now I don't remember what the stabilizer does, but for some reason I think we don't really need it. And then we have the sieve, and the sieve will pull pollen off of the bees that can be used for breeding trees later on. But for now, I think we are going to go ahead and see about making some of these. So we're going to need some golden electron tubes. This one here looks like we could make. So that's the hygro regulator. So yeah, let's go ahead and make one of those, and we'll just see if we can get maybe like our marshy bees to work. So let's go ahead and grab, we actually have a marshy queen here. So we need that, and then also we need some half slabs of some kind. So I'm going to just use some jungle wood. And yeah, we got 12 of those. Alright. So we need 9. 12 will be plenty. And we need to make sure that this thing has access to sunlight. And I want to put it down here near the torcherinos too. So we're going to go right about here. Let's go ahead and break all flowers out. And we're going to start out by putting down a 3x3 of alveoli blocks. We're going to put another 3x3 of these blocks. Must be at least 3x3x3. Can we make a larger alveoli now? That would be interesting. So then you cover this with half slabs, and we are missing one block, and there we go. So now this thing works. Now we don't have the ability to put frames in this thing, but they're supposed to be quite a bit more effective. So it's too dry. Still too dry. So I don't know if maybe no, the stabilizer, no. So maybe we need another regulator. Let's go ahead and try that. So I'm not sure what the status is on these marshy bees, what they need. So we'll just go ahead and make another one of these. And I would assume that's going to take it 2 steps then. But it wouldn't be the first time that I've been wrong about something. So, what about now? Still too dry. So, how do we make it wetter? That's a good question. So, if it's too dry, maybe we can make the Modest work now. They're probably going to complain that it's too cold. I'll bet they say it's too cold. Too humid, too cold, and no flowers. Well, what the heck do you guys do then? Well, that's just weird. But anyway, I know that we can make these guys work. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an Industrious bee, put it in there, and oddly enough, the lifespan is not changing. Why are you not changing? Are these things broken? That would be just my luck that the alvearies are broken. Oh, no, it moved. Slowly. Oh, I'll bet I know. The top of it is where it needs to be. Okay, well, let's try moving the Torturinos up a little bit and see if that'll help. And I'm going to get rid of a little bit of this garbage that I have in my inventory. But actually, we need some blocks. And when I think about it, our bees have supplied us with some blocks. And we're coming up on nighttime too. Wonderful. So if we break those all out, we'll move them up 2 blocks. That should still cover these. And it'll still cover those. So now we will surround this with Torturinos. Set them to maximum size and maximum speed. And then we'll sleep so that we can find out if this is working. Doesn't really look like it unless the lifespan is greatly increased by the alveary. And now we don't have a bee over there, but these guys are still going fast, so that's no problem. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a Forest Princess, and I'm going to change this one into an Industrious. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. But, yeah, this is not working very fast. Well, that kind of sucks. All that work to get the alveary and then it doesn't even work? I mean, it works, but it doesn't work? Well, anyway, look at it, I suppose I'm going to work on getting a little bit more automation to these bees. I'm going to check and see how the length of the episode is doing. But, yeah, that is kind of disappointing to see this. I mean, we're really not getting much out of it, and the bees are not being affected by the Torturino. That really bothers me. The only thing that I can think is that it needs to be 1 block higher. We'll try this. Nope. So apparently the Torturinos do not affect the alveary blocks. Really?